was a typical afternoon at work when Emma's phone buzzed insistently in her pocket. She pulled it out to see a message from Alex, her heart skipping a beat at the urgency in his words. "Emma, I need your help urgently. Can you come over?" Emma felt a rush of adrenaline. She glanced at the clock, debating whether to leave. The decision came swiftly. Her curiosity and concern for him won out. Without a second thought, she grabbed her coat and headed out. When she arrived at Alex's apartment, the warmth of the afternoon sun spilled into the room, casting a golden hue over everything. He opened the door, revealing himself with an intensity in his hazel eyes that made her breath catch in her throat. "Thanks for coming," he said, his voice laced with urgency. "I'm really glad you're here." "What's going on?" she asked, her heart racing. He stepped aside, allowing her to enter. "I've been holding back, Emma. There's something I need to tell you, but first." He reached for a soft blindfold resting on the table, and her pulse quickened at the implication. "Trust me?" he asked, his expression earnest. Emma hesitated for just a moment, but something about the way he looked at her made her heart race with anticipation. "I do," she replied, a mixture of excitement and apprehension bubbling inside her. With gentle hands, he tied the blindfold around her eyes, plunging her into darkness. She felt her other senses sharpen as she stood before him, heart pounding in her chest. "Just listen to my voice," he instructed softly. "Feel what I have planned for you." "I'm ready," she whispered, her voice steady despite the thrill of being blindfolded. The sound of him moving around the room reached her ears. She felt an intoxicating mixture of fear and excitement coursing through her veins as he began to tease her with different devices. "Can you guess what this is?" he asked, his voice low and playful as he brushed something soft against her arm. A feather?" she guessed, laughter bubbling up inside her. "Very close," he teased, and she felt the light tickle of feathers gliding across her skin. "This is a feather tickler." Emma giggled, squirming at the sensation. "It tickles." "Just wait," he said, his voice deepening with authority. He moved closer, and she felt the gentle caress of the feather gliding across her collarbone, trailing down to her stomach. Each feather-light touch sent delightful shivers through her body, awakening her senses. "Now, let's try something different," he said, and she heard the soft swish of leather. "This is a flogger, and it can create sensations that are both pleasurable and exhilarating." Emma's breath hitched. "Are you going to use it on me?" she asked, her heart racing with a mix of excitement and nervousness. "Only if you want it," he replied, his voice low and inviting. "Just remember to communicate. You're in control." "I trust you," she said, feeling emboldened by her willingness to explore this side of herself. "Good," he replied, the thrill in his voice palpable. "Just relax and let go." With that, he began to lightly tease her with the flogger, his strokes gentle yet electric. Each tap sent ripples of warmth through her body, awakening a primal desire within her. "Tell me what you feel," he urged, the teasing in his voice making her pulse quicken. It's amazing," she gasped, her body arching toward the sensations. He continued to play, alternating between the feather and the flogger, heightening the tension and pleasure. Emma surrendered completely to the experience, her senses overwhelmed by the delicious sensations he was creating. "Are you enjoying this?" he asked, his voice low and rich with desire. "Yes," she breathed, the words spilling from her lips as he continued his exploration. Finally, after what felt like an eternity of teasing and pleasuring her, he gently untied the blindfold, allowing her to blink into the warm afternoon light. When her vision adjusted, she saw Alex standing before her, his hazel eyes sparkling with a mix of admiration and longing. "Wow," she breathed, feeling exhilarated and alive. "That was incredible." He stepped closer, reaching out to caress her cheek. "I've wanted to show you this side of me for so long. I was afraid to ask." Emma could see the vulnerability in his expression, and something deep within her stirred. "I'm glad you did. It felt so freeing," she confessed, her heart racing. With a knowing smile, he leaned in, capturing her lips with his in a heated kiss. The world around them melted away as their bodies pressed together, the chemistry between them undeniable. "I want you," he murmured against her lips, the urgency of his desire igniting a fire within her. "I want you too," she replied, her voice barely a whisper. He lifted her into his arms, carrying her to the bedroom where soft light flooded the space. The atmosphere was charged with electricity as he set her down gently on the bed, his eyes filled with a mix of hunger and tenderness. As he kissed her again, Emma felt herself melting into him. Their bodies intertwined as they explored each other, a dance of passion and desire. She had never felt so alive, so desired. Alex took his time, savoring every kiss, every touch, igniting her senses anew. With each caress, he drew her deeper into a world where nothing else mattered. Their connection was palpable, the bond they shared blossoming into something beautiful and profound. The afternoon sun bathed them in warmth as they moved together, the rhythm of their bodies sinking in perfect harmony. Emma could feel the tension building within her, her breath coming in soft gasps as they lost themselves in each other. Finally, as they reached the peak of their pleasure, Emma let out a soft cry, surrendering to the wave of ecstasy that washed over them both. In that moment, she knew they had crossed a threshold, a barrier that had once kept them apart. As they lay entwined in each other's arms, Emma felt a sense of peace and fulfillment wash over her. This was more than just a physical connection. It was a deep emotional bond that had been awakened. "Thank you for trusting me," Alex murmured, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. "I trust you completely," she replied, her heart swelling with affection. As they lay together in the quiet of the afternoon, Emma knew that they had embarked on a journey that would take them to places they had only dreamed of, a path of exploration, intimacy, and shared desires that would deepen their connection and awaken their souls. Alex's beast, his once hidden dark secrets and desires that no other soul had seen, finally came to life. Accepted, embraced, and loved by Emma. She realized now what this connection was truly about. It fulfilled finally that part of her that had been seeking and longing for something she could never put her finger on till now. He was the one, her forever person, her true soulmate, home.